Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to cover something I've noticed more and more lately on social media. I don't usually cover drama, except within the writing community sometimes. But this is something that I've noticed in many fields of interest of mine, including with other authors, but also mainly in the gaming sphere. So that is bullying and harassment, mostly of men. Obviously the other bullying and harassment happens as well, but I'm just going to cover the influx of man hate lately. So I do prefer to keep my political views offline, because they're never really fun to cover, and many YouTubers, including other VTubers, already cover such topics, so I don't really need to just be another random voice giving my opinions, but I do have some thoughts on this particular topic. Okay, so recently it came to my attention that a Twitch streamer called Napnide, hopefully I'm not butchering that username, was bullied and harassed on stream by some VTuber and her friends, who were much bigger in sub count than this guy. I'm not familiar with the group of streamers, as I don't play Dead by Daylight myself, and I don't watch their streams, so I don't really know them, and I don't know Napnide either. Just putting that out there. Anyway, so during the stream, I believe a few racist and demeaning things were said about Napnide. If you want the full scope, I do recommend looking into it yourself. It's quite interesting. But that's not really what this video is about, although I might cover, some of the clips. The point is, because he won a match against these streamers, they went into his chat while both groups were still live, and just belittled him because of his gender and skin tone. Now, if this was someone with another skin tone, this would never be accepted, ever. It should not be accepted just because someone's white or male. It's not okay. So no matter what gender or ethnicity a person is, it's never okay to be an asshole just because you don't like something they did in a fucking game. Life is not a video game where you get to use sliders to make how you look like, where you're born, but you do get to decide to be an asshole to another person. So in many places on the internet, I've seen people getting way too comfortable hating on someone else just because of their gender, ethnicity, or sexuality. And again, it's never okay to do that. Even if that person happens to be a straight white male. Unpopular opinion there maybe, but anyway. Have straight white men been assholes? Bigots? So and so forth? Absolutely. But that does not mean all men are in that category. They do not all deserve to be treated like shit. A lot of them are pretty much kind and thoughtful, especially here in Britain. Obviously you do still get assholes, but anyway. But a lot of men are just vibing. A lot of women are just vibing. A lot of other people are just vibing. Not all men are automatically going to be horrible or mean or assholes or whatever. It's kind of I don't want to say racist or whatever, because it kind of is to assume that all white men are this and that. But you know what I mean, right? If I said something about, say, a black person that was a stereotype, I would be cancelled so quickly, and with good reason. But for some reason, the internet thinks that just because you're doing it to a white person, it's okay. It's not. But anyway, by doing this to just because someone's a white man, just for lols or whatever, it's just going to cause more harm than good in the long run, and you're just going to end up having more people with hate for you or your gender or whatever, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to piss off people, and then you're just going to not get very far. And, well, if you think that non-straight, non-white, non-male people haven't been assholes as well, oh boy. Oh boy. You may have a wake-up call coming your way when you grow up. Because everybody, and I mean everybody, has the ability to be nice or a massive wanker. No sugarcoating that. Regardless of what skin colour, no matter what gender, what's in their underwears. And these particular streamers have pretty much proven my point for me. It takes so little to be kind to another human, if they're just vibing. Like, the world currently is already full of assholes, so why add on to the abundance of people with dicks on their forehead, you know? Unless, of course, you're into that. Then you do you, boo-boo. But personally, I'd rather not flaunt having that on my head, if you don't mind. Thank you. But yeah, just be kind to one another. Find common ground if you can. And if you can't, then move on and don't waste energy on them more than you already have. Gaming is supposed to be fun. At the end of the day, it is supposed to be fun. Something you do to unwind at the end of the day, or during the day, whatever, and get away from the real world. If you can't play with others, or at least strangers, then don't play with others or strangers, period. Anyway, that's my little rant out of the way. If you want to support Napnide, then I'll post the link to his Twitch in my description. I don't particularly watch him, as again, I don't play Dead by Daylight because, hey, I don't like gaming with strangers, so kind of taking my own advice there. But yeah, if that's your thing, and then, you know, the link will be there if anyone wants it. And then I am going to hopefully get this right and swap so that I can show you some of the clips. Okay, so this is the clip which was posted to Twitter @/X by Spook and Jules, so credit goes to them. And they say, "You deserve to be banned. You and Anatan Desu are both Twitch partners, and you, along with your friends, shamed a streamer with 700 followers because you lost a match of Dead by Daylight. You also pulled up his stream while live and all harassed him in chat. Pathetic." And I do kind of agree.
4K hours and they're streaming this gameplay, bro. I'm so sure nobody is going to do that.
Yeah, don't do this. If you're live and you pop into some person's stream that you don't know just to mock and belittle them, that's kind of cringe. And that's a nice way of putting it. Of course it's a white man. Of course it's things that, yeah. Just because it's a white man does not mean to say you can mock and belittle them. Anyway.
Let's see the chat. What's this chat? Hold on, let's see. Why are we being so sad?
I don't harm anyone this time.
Why you sit on a single gen?
Well, you sit on a single gen. There were 3 fucking gens left of the map. 1 gen was 99.
Okay, I'll get to the humping in a bit. I'm not too familiar with Dead by Daylight terms. Projecting much from what I see of the clips. Anyway.
Does not want to admit anything. That's faulty behavior.
Yep. Like, if you're gonna say something like that to someone you know, and you're just, you know, goofing off with friends, that's one thing, that's fine. I have a relationship with one of my male friends, which, you know, I don't think I've ever said this to him, but but we've definitely had some back and forth where we kind of annoy one another a little bit, but we're still really good friends at the end of the day. But saying this to a streamer because you're a little bit salty about losing a match is kind of it's kind of giving her compensation issues on your own end. Not that you know. It feels weird just trying to insult someone I don't know. So I don't know how people just like shit talk. Anyway, maybe I'm just too pure for this world. I'm not, but maybe I am.
It's okay, it happens. That's why you only have 18. Yeah, true. It's 2 partner streamers in a single chat. It's too much for him to handle.
That's it. You just mock smaller streamers. Why not? It's racist. You don't know that. In fact, information has come out that this guy has actually had a really rough childhood. I don't know the details, just what I've heard. So you don't know what his life was like, or whether or not he's quote-unquote privileged. I have a lot of experience around kids in foster. I've never been in foster myself, but my parents looked after children. A little bit of backstory there. And I have known many, many, many children of different cultures and creeds who have had a tough time. So you do not know jack shit about this person. You don't know their childhood, their history, anything. You cannot say they are this, that, or the other just because they are white. You just can't. If you had seen half the shit I've seen growing up, you would not think this way. Thinking this way in itself is very privileged, because it means you have not known hardship. You have not known the sadness of a child not being able to be with their parents, or having horrible parents, or anything else. You know jack shit. Anyway. Again, you know jack shit about this person. If you knew past me, compared to me now, you would not think we were the same person. Because I have learned to be confident and assertive, and I don't take jack shit from anybody anymore. Me in the past used to be really shy and pretty much a doormat, and a people pleaser, and someone who could not stand up for themselves, and I was bullied relentlessly. By women, actually, but besides the point. So again, you know jack shit about this person, or anything. The way someone talks means very little. Especially online. For all you know, this streamer could be putting on a front in order to seem confident and assured and whatever else. You know nothing about this person. Why is that always the go-to insult? I mean, coming from someone who's putting on a very childlike, high-pitched voice, I don't know if this is her actual voice, knowing what I know about a lot of VTubers, I highly doubt that this is her normal speaking voice, because a lot of VTubers tend to put on the more childlike, high-pitched voice for their characters, for their persona. I don't do that because, well, I don't want to act and sound like a child, basically. I am not a child, so I will not act like one. That's a whole other debate of what I'm thinking with the child stuff. But anyway, and it's kind of ironic that they're calling this guy privileged when, unless this model was pre-built and you just bought someone else's model like I have, a custom model is not cheap. Like, unless you've put yourself in debt for this model, your model probably cost you quite a fair bit. Again, my model was pre-made, so I had no say in the creation of it, so mine was cheaper. But just looking for a cheap artist and rigger, the cheapest I can find is like $300, I think. Might be a little bit more, a little bit less. So, and that's just like not a high-end model. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. So, from my experience, as a VTuber, and granted this is a very limited experience so far, I would say you are more privileged than this Twitch streamer, because they're using their face. Like, granted they may have a computer, but do you know how old that computer is? Because I can tell you my computer is like fucking ancient. I think it's at least like 6, maybe even 10 years old. Don't quote me on that because I can't remember when I bought this laptop. So you don't know how old his laptop is, or PC I should say. Now, everyone has a laptop, Yukiro. You don't know how a brand his equipment is. You know nothing about this person except what you see and hear online. And I can say the same, for me against these streamers. I don't know anything about their personal background, so perhaps they're not privileged. But getting a really good model and being able to have a high, following, it's not... how to say this? You're very privileged to have that. And to think otherwise is kind of a bit... Like, not many people can afford to have a decent system to, like, face track, a good model, the software needed to, like, run it all, and everything else. Like, a good cam, a good mic, the works. So, it sounds like you're more privileged than this other person is, this guy. I could be wrong. Be totally wrong. But it definitely feels like you are way more privileged. Anyway. Yeah, and back with the penis jokes. I still don't like the person saying it. And I'm not sure if they said that in the other streamer's chat. If so, that's kind of a bit mean. So we have the quote, which is what Spook and Jules was retweeting. I got banned on Twitch for 7 days. I think they got it reduced to 2 days. I'm not really keeping up with it all that much. For things I did not do. Except you did. A small Dead by Day creator got very hostile. Didn't seem that way to me, anyway. Towards me and my friends who played against him and nitpicked lines and made it all that I said it. I'm with my family right now, so I will peel and get more into this later. Read the other bit. But then there's a added context of bubthelaw was caught on clips harassing the other streamer and also using racist remarks of course there's a white man. Yeah, so humping is, from what I understand, from what I learnt by digging into the situation, is unlike Fortnite, I believe you can't do the crouch thing with your villains. So instead, a person goes back and forth over someone who's downed. And that's what they were claiming this streamer had done. Okay, and this is from his point of view. Okay, so you can probably tell from the different point of view. This is a streamer, by the way. Hello. It doesn't look like the guy, like, from their point of view, I can kind of understand why they might think he was humping. But when you look at his clip, it clearly looks like he's just confused that the person has kind of teleported, and he's just looking for the other person to pick him up. So I don't think he's actually humping anyone. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I personally think I'm getting tired of all the hate between everybody. Unfortunately, that's what seems to be making all the views and the money. So of course people want to get in on that clout. But it is again kind of tiring hearing both sides like be really hostile and toxic towards each other. That never really helps any situation. It doesn't change anything, it just makes things worse. And eventually it is going to escalate even worse than it already has. And I'm just not here for it. It doesn't take like much to be kind to someone, and if they're not kind to you, you know, just deal with it then. But anyway, I'm gonna log off for today because being online kind of sucks sometimes. Peace out, Nostar, my dragon citizens, and don't forget to keep on gaming. Bye bye.